Picture this. A recording studio somewhere far, far away.
Welcome watchers of Illusion to my Castle of Confusion, and I'm looking at an Amiga classic today, and it's called Chuck Rock. Anyone remember this one? Developed by Core Design. They've had quite a penchant for doing these sort of games. It was quite cool. This is the rather spiffy intro, so let me just let you watch this. It's Gary Gritter, by the way. Oh no, he's a naked dude. Now, this game came on 2 discs, and pretty much the intro was on disc 1. But that was the case for quite a lot of games back in the day. If they had an intro, they were on a separate disc. Remember, Settlers also had a separate intro on a separate disc. This is quite cool. You can choose music or sound effects, which is weird because you'd think the Amiga could do both, really, but there you go. So we're going to have sound effects on for our run, just because the music you've just heard on the menu, that is the music that's going to take you through the game. Now, I remember playing this originally when it was released, and I was actually quite impressed by it back then. It was one of those games that you would load in again and again and try and finish. So I'm going to get as far as I can within our normal time restrictions of around the 15-minute mark, and see how we get on. Now, the Amiga handled this game very well, as you can probably tell, and it also was released, this is on a 1200 hard drive, and it was released on the A500 and the A500 plus 600 and 1200 range, but all play this game incredibly well. So it's such a shame that Commodore went the way they did, really. But let's look at it from a graphical point of view. Well, it's gorgeous, isn't it, really? I mean, you look at it and you think, lovely. It's based on like sort of cartoon graphics, as you can see here, but everything's so well animated. You've got the nice, clean scrolling. You've got absolutely fantastic animations as well, and there's so much to do. But we'll go through all that in due course. Now, standing up to his name, he does Chuck Rocks, as you can see. But yeah, the actual design of the characters, the enemies, level design, everything is just so well thought out and presented really well. So a bit Rayman as well, kind of, if you remember Rayman on the PS1. Obviously this game came way before then. This was also released on the Mega Drive, the Super Nintendo, Mega CD, CD32, that's what I meant. Yeah, so it was released on quite a lot of formats, which is nice to see. I will be looking at it, because I've never played it on the Mega Drive before, or the Super Nintendo, actually, so it'd be good to sort of have a look at those. It did spawn a couple of sequels, Chuck Rock 2, The Son of Chuck, which was dumbed down a bit, I believe, for the younger audiences to play, because this game can get a little bit frustrating, but it's not enough to worry too much about. Well, you'll be able to see where the frustrating bits are for yourself. And then there was BC Racers as well, which was called sort of a sequel, but not really, if that makes sense. It's one of those cashing in on the racing game franchises. But you can see you've got Chuck's health down in the bottom left, and the amount of lives you've got in the bottom right, which is quite hard to see, actually, but there we go. You could get, if you were lucky enough back in the day, I mean, how many of you were disc traders? Come on, let's get this out. How many of you actually had originals, and how many of you had X-Copy Pro versions? Well, you can get trainers on this game if you need them. I'm not using any, because, well, I'm just going to put my my skills to the test. But it's a fantastic game, absolutely brilliant, and it still stands up today. It's actually very good still, and you know, we're looking quite a long time ago that this was released. But yeah, done by the same group that bought us Rick Dangerous, if I remember rightly. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I do believe it was the same team that bought Rick Dangerous and Rick Dangerous 2 to the Amiga, and we know how bloody hard those games were, don't we, folks? If you don't, pick up a copy of Rick Dangerous and give it a go. It's, yeah, no, I haven't reviewed it yet, and am I going to? Well, maybe one day when I'm brave enough. It's a bit of a tricky one, old Rick. Anyway, the controls are very nice on this game as well. So it's left and right, down will duck, up is jump, and then your fire button is to belly bounce, and down and fire will pick up the rocks that you can see there. Now, you do need to have some of them you can ignore, but a lot of them do come in handy very close to where you pick them up from. Now, you've got friendly dinosaurs, as you can see here. Really nice animations again, very, very cartoony. This will appeal to quite a range of players as well, which is always nice to see, because the more players that get introduced to these games, the better. I think all people should be educated in retro gaming, because this was where everything really kicked off for the gaming generations. And you know, modern games, yes, they look nice, but do they have the playability and the lastability? Unless it's an MMO, then you know the answer to that yourselves. If you're into next gen, then let me know. But back here, you really didn't have a save option unless you had an action replay cartridge plugged into your Amiga, which you could then save an instance of your game onto a disc. Other than that, there wasn't really anything here that you could do. But it's just such a fun game. That it's a side-scrolling platformer, but it's so well animated. Just look at all the different facial expressions that Chuck pulls, and he looks rather sinister when he picks stuff up. Look at his watch his face change when you pick stuff up. But there's an animation for practically everything. I'm gonna have to spike my buttocks going across there, I think. Yes. Now, your health can be replenished by getting dinosaur steaks or the hearts that you can see pumping around the level. These little dinosaurs are quite cute as well. You hit the big ones, they turn into medium ones, the medium ones turn into small ones, and then they don't hurt you anymore. So there's a health replen there. That will give you practically a full bar of health, which is nice. And some of the dinosaur steaks will also do the same thing, so it's worth picking up everything that you can. Oh, that was great. I can't get up there now. Okay, I'm probably going to have to... Let's see if it resets itself if I walk out and back in again. No, it doesn't. I can't pick up those eggs. You'd think that those were picked up. You could pick those up. Where did he come from? So I'm going to spike myself up there. That's great. So the other thing I'm going to mention is sound. Now, it can be a little bit hit and miss, but you've got a plethora of cartoon sound effects, ranging from the unga bunga as you start the level to the belly bounce sound effect. And here's a boss. It's an end of level boss. Yeah, so the sound's great. Sometimes it doesn't correspond with when you press the buttons, but we can forgive that. But it would have been nice to have had every sound effect sort of line up with the button presses. I don't know, maybe it's because it's on the 1200, I'm not sure, but it shouldn't make a difference. Now, if you choose the music option, you're just going to get that sort of heavy rock and roll theme going right the way through the game, which I didn't think you guys would want to have during the review today, so I'll leave that down to you guys. If you've got a copy of this game, boot it up and then play the music on the title screen, and that is what you'll hear all the way through. But again, it's quite a nice rock tune. It's just a shame that it's so repetitive. There's no other, not that I know of anyway, there's not many sound tracks in the game to make it worth your while. So, and I normally find your concentration's better with just sound effects as well. But as there's so many sound effects, they've made a good effort with that as well. So, bravo. Playability wise, it's absolutely brilliant fun. And it's one of those games that will keep you coming back for more. So your replay value is also there. And I'm very impressed with it. Absolutely very impressed. It's a one-player game, but you can do two-player if you do the usual methods I suggest, which is to pass the controller when you lose a life, or you can do speed runs and see who can get to the end of the level the quickest, who can defeat the boss the quickest, and all that. So, yeah, I think you can make any game a multiplayer mode, really. I think there's a couple of exceptions that we've had recently, but other than that. But look at him, he sticks his tongue out. And he's got tattoos. And that's the other thing, is that it's nice to see that he's actually got two different sides to him. So sometimes you find with these sort of games that the bosses will turn around and they'll have exactly the same designs on the one side as they do on the other. And it's nice to see that this actually is not the case. So you have plasters on the one side, tattoos on the other. Great stuff. Where'd you go to get a rhino tattooed? Answers on a postcard, please. So this is the second level of the game, and you can see here that we've got some new creatures. Got a cute little hedgehog there. And we've got, we're in sort of like a cavern here, and we've got some new enemy types. Big bulbous spiders, that's fun. So we can do this sort of jump kick as well, if we need to, which you can take out flying enemies. But as you probably saw in the first level, if you've got a rock and something lands or hits it, then you can't kill them. Okay, then I've lost my train of thought. Just happens like that, doesn't it? What was I going to say? Yeah, if you've got a rock over your head, and if a creature collides with it, even if you haven't thrown it at them, then it will automatically knock them out. That looks like a big poo monster with arms. But yeah, but such a variety of things to see and puzzles to do, and nothing too taxing. This stage seems to have big tomatoes in it, and as you probably noticed in the first level, they had pigs' heads with apples in their mouths. You don't get much more cartoony than that. But yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant effort, and probably one of the best sort of cartoon-based games on the Amiga. So if you haven't played Chuck Rock, then it now looks like the rock's got arms. If you smell the rock is cooking. So we're going to try and see how far we can get during the next few minutes. And I hope you've enjoyed the review, folks. I'm going to be trying to do quite a lot this week, so bear with. And I'm going to probably bring you another one tomorrow. In fact, I might just do Chuck Rock 2 tomorrow, so you can have a look at that one and see what you think compared to this one. I believe it was Core Design that did the second one as well. I don't think it was quite as well received as this one, but we will go through it and we'll have a look and see. Because games are games, folks. It doesn't matter if you've played them or whether they've had bad reviews. We will go through them, and we will make sure that we get them right. Yes, because sometimes, I mean, you got to remember that all of these reviews are all my personal opinion of what you're seeing in front of you. I give it a good playthrough, and I give you guys a bit of narration as well. So yeah, sometimes it's a first time impressions, and other times it's a review, and sometimes it's both together. But things like this are absolutely fantastic, great fun to play, and there's other games like this on the Amiga, like Bubba and Sticks, for example. I think I've reviewed that one, I can't remember, but I will have a look. If not, that's coming up as well, because that was a fun one. But yes, the Amiga has got a massive back library, so we were going through quite a lot of the Amiga games, as with the SNES, the NES, the Mega Drive, Mega CD, all of it. And we've got so much to get through. So with your support, the channel will last, and we will be doing this for years to come. I say we, that's me and you guys. That's not there's nobody else who does this. It's just me, and I can't thank you enough for your support with the channel. And if you didn't subscribe and tune in and watch the vids, then there wouldn't really be a channel worth doing. So thank you very so much for that. We're approaching the 1,000 subscriber mark. I've got another 25 or so people, I think, to get. So please like, share and subscribe to this one, and let's see if we can smash that 1,000 likes, subscribes whatever you would like to call them, and see if we can get the channel up there into the triple figures. That would be lovely. Anyway, guys, that's about it from me. I will be back, hopefully tomorrow morning, with a brand new review for you. So keep your eye out for that. Maybe make sure you tick the little bell on the notifications so you don't miss any reviews that are coming up in the coming weeks, months, years, etc. So, as always, folks, that's it from me. I will see you again very soon with a brand new review. You keep it retro, and I'll be back soon. Thank you again, and as always, it's bye for now. Ta-da!
Incoming transmission.